Yo, what up, Lucid Crew? Welcome back to the channel. I am Lucid Rob, and if this is your first time here, we're gonna watch videos. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna watch. There's not gonna be any talking, no commentary, and just enjoy what's here. That's not what's gonna happen at all. It's well, that is gonna happen, but we're gonna look at things rationally and logically, and try to, I'm gonna give my input. And if you agree with me, you can comment and elaborate on the ideas that we share. And if you disagree with me, you can comment and let me know why you disagree and help educate me and give me a better idea of these things that I'm wrong about. Either way, I accept it all. Just don't be an asshole. Or be an asshole. Whatever. You do you, man. But let's stop fucking talking. Let's start watching the videos.
These gentlemen, what they're seeing are 7-foot-tall entities that are arrayed in silver armored bodysuits. The gentleman makes reference to the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. Sometimes they're saying also that they're dressed in cloaks with hoods. These entities apparently have discs on the bottom of their shoes that project a red light and that enable them to float off the ground, and they can also lift off into the air. When the villagers fire at these entities, the entities are apparently bulletproof and they just disappear or they float off into the jungle. That's what they're saying. And the way that they're describing these entities disappearing is reminiscent of the Predator from the movie.
Dude, I said in a video yesterday when I was talking about this and saying they were like cloaked and shit. I think that was my exact response. It's like these villagers are fighting predators. What do you think this is? You think this is a big psyop? You think this is part of Project Bluebeam? You think these are like people in like suits going in here and fucking with these people? You think it's extraterrestrials from outer space coming down here and doing things? Do you think it's maybe inner Earth people coming out, highly advanced technology, trying to take back the land or protect the Earth? I don't know. These villagers are under attack by something. What do you think it is?
You cannot move water around in your body or retain it in the right compartments, inside your blood vessels, inside your tissues, inside the cells. You can't keep things in the right compartment without sodium chloride. The chief cells in your stomach cannot make stomach acid without salt. Okay? Salt is the raw material. Sodium chloride is the raw material to make hydrochloric acid. Now, two things have happened because of this terrible criminal advice that doctors have given. It's criminal. Anybody else do this to the American people, they'd be put in jail for a life. Some of them would be executed because of the number of people who are killed over this. Right? Salt is required to make stomach acid. You don't have enough stomach acid, you get reflux. Incorrectly called acid reflux. It's reflux. Reflux is caused by insufficient amounts of stomach acid. Not too much stomach acid. So doctors have even named it the wrong thing, right? And basically, you get reflux when you don't have enough stomach acid to keep your stomach environment sterile. So yeast begin to grow in there, so you eat carbohydrates and sugar. They ferment that, produce gas. Heartburn, pressure, reflux. Because you have all these things growing in your stomach. Okay, when you get a pH too high, you get a pH above 4, all these things begin to grow. You have a pH under 1, your pepsin works to digest proteins, and you can absorb minerals, you can absorb B12. Your pH gets above 2, 2.5, you can't do that. Okay, so you're in trouble. I mean, you can take tons of iron supplementation, and if you don't have any stomach acid, you can't absorb iron. Now, here comes the most terrible thing that's happened to America because of this inappropriate advice. Well, there's two things. One, you go back to 1995, 750 people died during a triple-digit heat wave in Chicago. It was a 2-week heat wave, 1995, I believe it was. 750 people died here in Chicago, and thousands of people fell out with heat stroke. The first thing they give them intravenously on the way to the hospital to get heat stroke is saline solution, which is salt water, yeah. And it's absolutely criminal that these 750 people who died were all ones who were on a salt-restricted diet. They're all seniors who were on a salt-restricted diet. They died of heat stroke because these doctors didn't have the courtesy to call these people up in good manners, just to call up and say, look, whether you believe in the salt-restricted diet or not, right now you need to put a couple of tablespoons of salt in a gallon of water, be sipping on that until the heat wave goes away. But they didn't do that. And so all those people who died of heat stroke were under the care of doctors who were on a restricted salt diet. Those doctors should be put in jail. Okay? For almost like the same thing as vehicular homicide, the same type of thing as manslaughter, right? Type of thing. Then here comes the big one. Right now,
some of the most physically fit, healthy, middle-aged people I know, like good friends of mine. I mean, I'm 37. Am I 37? I'm 37. I don't know why it was so hard to remember that. I'm 37, and I think I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life. I was training for a bodybuilding competition back in like 2000 fucking, I don't know, 17 maybe 15, something like that. And I'm still in better shape now than I was then. I'm not as like chiseled, right? Like I have a higher body fat percentage and stuff, and I'm probably not as strong as I was then. But I'm in the best shape I've ever been right now, and myself, including these other people I'm talking about, my friends who are like professional athletes in like combat sports and volleyball, and have like high fats, like meat, protein, like diets that are essentially the complete opposite of what general doctors are telling people to have in their diet. I don't know, man. I don't have to tell you that the pharmaceutical company and probably a lot of medical associations don't have our best interests in mind.
Let me first say I'm not a racist, okay? But men go to war and women and children flee war. Where are all the women and children, please? Everybody that's coming over are fighting age men. They're soldiers. Now, are they there to protect us, or are they there to round us up? What are these immigration centers for if we're not using them? What are all these new prisons for if we're not using them? Prisoners are being released early, on tag. What are the FEMA camps built for? The largest one can accommodate 2 million people. But where the hell do they expect to find 2 million people? And more importantly, why? There's something else going on they're not telling us about, because it's cataclysmic. And we should be told. We should be allowed to make preparations. Putin, who's supposed to be the bad guy, has made preparations for every single one of his citizens, man, woman and child. But what are our governments doing for us? Absolutely nothing. So you want to know what immigration is really all about? Ask them. Because they're working with the SAS. They're working with our military. They are soldiers. That's my view. Why is it that our own veterans are living on the streets? Why our own people are living on the streets? And yet these people can come over and live in hotels and get £175 a week. That's more than our unemployed get because they're on the payroll. There is something being planned and it's not good. Not good at all. For any of us. And I said before, where are all the women and children? Men go to war. Women and children flee war. Why are they coming here? There's no war here. Why aren't they fighting for their own countries? Why are they coming here? And why are we accommodating them when we're not even accommodating our own people?
Man, that's a very deep, very controversial topic. I don't really like to get into politics, but I am a patriotic person. I do live in the United States, and the fact that I am born and raised here, I would obviously like to see what's best for the United States a priority when it comes to the things that we within the United States do. I think that's pretty reasonable. That doesn't mean do things at the expense of other countries. That doesn't mean start shit with other countries to take advantage of their resources or anything. Just within, our country, we should be making decisions that help us and benefit us within our country. I don't really know what to say about it. Like I said, I like to comment on things that I have like some idea of. I like to ask questions about the things that I don't know much about, and this is definitely one of those things I don't know much about. This is too big of a deal to just be speculative of, so I don't want to do that. So you tell me what you think about this whole thing, I guess, below in the comments.
Something very strange happened to TikToker by the name of Alfred, not Alfredo. Before going to sleep, he noticed something very strange on his wall. He's able to see images upside down of his neighbors. A whole projection of his neighbor's house on his wall. Let's check out the video and let me know what you guys think. Pay close attention.
Okay, so I noticed this right here and I was like, why does this look like bushes? And then I realized, I thought this was just like the curtains, the little curtain square right there. And then I was like, you could see the cars drive by and I just figured it was just lights. And then I just happened to turn the camera upside down and I realized that's my neighbor's house. That's their car. This is the sky. You can see the cars. Let's see if a car drives by. You can see John. That's John walking across. You can see his pants. But like it's in color.
Guy's just full of shit and has a projector set up and is projecting it on his wall for TikTok. You let me know what you think of that one. If there is a scientific explanation for this one, please let me know below, because I'm drawing a blank here.
Have you heard of Sandra Bullock and Oprah's skin routine? It is absolutely disturbing.
Is one of Oprah's favorites. She says it's a miracle fountain of youth and her magic wrinkle cure. So I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'll do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human.
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
So it's made from human foreskin.
What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
Nah, this is just wrong on every single level. Did you just hear what Ellen DeGenerate said?
That's pretty fucking wild, dude. I was trying to approach it from a little more stern, straight face, but that's fucking wild, dude. Holy shit. I know we use stem cells from like, I don't know what words I can fucking say on YouTube. I'm new to this still. I don't know. Stem cells. We use stem cells to, you know, cure things like injuries and stuff like that. Can I even say the word foreskin? I just said it. Whatever. We're gonna try. Let's hope this works. So does that just make circumcision like a big conspiracy? Like, because it used to be a religious thing, and then it was done for like cleanliness, and then it was just done because it was social norm, and now it's just a conspiracy for money making.
Did you see the Brazil carnival?
Is it the demonic one?
Yeah, so I guess it was purposely to like make fun of God.
Wow.
They had big demon statue. They had God crawling on the
What the
pavement,
fuck?
and then there was people dressed as the demon, and they were poking at him, right? They even had one guy who's dressed up as God hanging from one of the blimps. He lost sense of all his body parts and shit like that. That's how bad it got. Right after, God sent a flood. A bunch of people were displaced in Brazil. A bunch of people were homeless in Brazil. This is Brazil's like world record of rain that they got.
Damn.
Yeah. The big Rio de Janeiro statue, like this, it got struck. There's pictures of it got struck by lightning. He's powerful, fam. I think there's a quote is like, God will not take so much mockery of him.
I would never dare to do that shit on things that you don't understand. Like, let's say there's another religion, like, and you fuck up the ritual. It probably has some negative effects on you, bro.
And on the seventh day, God said, "Thou shalt fuck around, and thou shalt find out."
It literally looks like a zombie apocalypse has begun in the US right now. Eerie footage is coming out of Philadelphia this week showing hordes of people slouched over but still standing, seemingly conscious and unconscious at the same time. One video walked through the crowded sidewalk with tents, people sat in camping chairs, empty needle packets on the floor, showing a devastating side of America that has quickly spiraled into an epidemic. The thing that's turning these people into these zombie-like figures is a newer drug sweeping US cities called xylazine, or better known as tranq. It's intended to sedate larger animals like cows and horses, but more recently, people have begun abusing it because of the unique high it gives. Unfortunately, it also brings horrific side effects, including raw wounds that spread rapidly and can result in rotting flesh or amputation if left untreated. In fact, the drug is so potent that the White House recently declared it an emerging threat. And according to a 2022 report, xylazine has now been discovered in 36 states.
All right, so I am not going to comment on my opinion on this because I don't know, and I talk about my former drug use and addictions all the time and stuff, but I'm going to leave this up to you to give me an answer here. Do you think cases like this were basically orchestrated to just have this drug like released? Because I think it would take a long time for someone to just find this or get prescribe this for some reason, or get the idea one day to just be like, oh, this is for horses, let's try it on us, and then for the word to just like word of mouth spread across the country, like, oh, this shit'll fuck you up. I feel like it would take a long time for that, and it could have very well been that, but I feel like for like things that just come out of nowhere like this, it has to be kind of like enabled.
Bruh, y'all cannot make this up. Scientists revived 48,500-year-old zombie virus buried in the ice, and this was all discovered by like French scientists. My question is though, what in the Resident Evil, World War Z, The Walking Dead type BS is this? Y'all really trying to make an apocalypse happen, ain't y'all? Y'all gonna mess around and unleash the T-virus. It's all fun and games till the zombies start running like in Call of Duty. You know what would be worse? What if they were the clickers, bruh? At that point, if that would have happened, just take me off this earth. Either put it back where y'all found it or destroy it, because I'm not having it. I'm just saying.
Honestly, I'm all for researching things to learn from them, because you'll learn about things in order to learn how to prevent it if it becomes an issue again. But dude, if something's been frozen that long, we haven't had to worry about it, just freeze that shit. Just put it back in the freezer, dude. Put it in an ice cube tray, write a post-it note, do not touch, write like your name on it like it's in your work refrigerator, Dan's zombie ice, do not touch, or like lick it. lick it so nobody else eats it. You know, do something to keep everyone away from it and just put that shit back, because there's just some things we don't need to be fucking with, man.
Speaking of almost dying,
yeah,
did you know that there's 3 things that will be revealed after our deaths that exist now?
What do you mean?
What?
There is a letter from Queen Elizabeth written to the mayor of Sydney, and she says, please don't open this letter until 2085. It's being held in a like secret vault in Sydney, Australia.
What could be that important?
Oh no. The sign Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth.
That's insane.
Is it going to be like something big? But then there's a movie called 100 Years, the movie you'll never see, starring John Malkovich, and it's to be released in theaters or to the public in 2115.
Really?
What if they know exactly what happens to us?
What if John Malkovich is a time traveler?
Weird.
And then the last thing, which was super weird, Jackie Kennedy's bloody pink suit. It's been held in a vault, secret, like no one's allowed to see it. And they said they will release it to the public October 26, 2103.
Why? Why?
Don't know.
Alien blood.
Yeah, that's really fucking strange. I think more than any of those, the thing that interests me the most is Queen Elizabeth's note. It sounds like that time frame, she would want the next generation, like her kids and potentially grandkids, to not have to deal with the consequences of whatever she reveals. Maybe it's something big, man.
In the earth, there is something called synchronic lines or ley lines, and they work like an underground river passageways of basically energy, magnetism, geomagnetism. And so they cross a certain point. This is what you call the earth grid. There is also a grid that comes from the sun. Some people call that the ascension grid. That's more like a cosmological grid, which is a form of energy and information and memory. Whereas in the earth, these lines, there's a reason why these lines are crossing, and they kind of hold the energetic integrity of the actual planet. And so when they cross, they create, for a metaphysical mindset, basically a portal. A portal is another word for a doorway. So when you're sensitive to energy, these anomalies become basically an alchemical opportunity to reach states of consciousness where you can communicate with higher intelligence. You can regenerate your body.
You guys let me know what you think about that, because I'm not, when it comes to the whole energy thing, I'm just not real big on it. I don't really look too much into it. I realize that everything is energy. I'm open to the idea of, you know, good energy, bad energy, sound waves making you feel good or bad. But I don't know, it just hasn't really interested me enough to really look into deeper. So if you have any opinions on that or any insight info, drop it in the comments for me and share.
Imagine I have a beautiful tree that's filled with oranges. And I ask myself, what is the orange made of? How do I answer that question? Well, I want to look deeply inside the orange, so I magnify it. And I magnify it again. And if I keep on doing it, deep inside, sooner or later, I begin to see molecules come into view. But molecules are not the end of the story, because the molecules, I can enlarge them. And if I make them big enough deep inside, I begin to see atoms. Atoms are not the end of the story too, because we have electrons zooming around the nucleus. Deep inside, mostly empty space in the atom, but deep inside, we see the nucleus. So if I grab that and magnify it, I see that the nucleus is itself made of particles, neutrons and protons. And if I grab one of the neutrons and magnify it, I find yet further particles, little tiny quarks inside. Now that is where the conventional ideas stop. String theory comes along and suggests that inside these particles there is something else. So if I take a little quark and I magnify it, conventional idea says there's nothing inside, but string theory says I'll find a little tiny filament, a little filament of energy, a little string-like filament. And just like the string on a violin, I pluck it and it vibrates, creates a little musical note that I can hear. The little strings in string theory, when they vibrate, they don't produce musical notes, they produce the particles themselves. So a quark is nothing but a string vibrating in one pattern. An electron is nothing but a string vibrating in a different pattern. A neutrino, nothing but a string vibrating in a different pattern still. So if I take all of this back together, I have my ordinary orange And if these ideas are right, they are speculative, but if they are right, deep inside the orange or any other piece of matter is nothing but a dancing, vibrating cosmic symphony of strings. That's the basic idea of string theory.
If I can only choose one type of entertainment for the rest of my life, it would be music. So for someone like me, the idea of all of existence just being a culmination of basically like a symphony of musical notes coming from strings that create existence, it's just like coolest fucking thing in the world to me. I love it so much.
The universe is composed of interacting energy fields, some at rest and some in motion, and it is, in and of itself, one gigantic hologram of unbelievable complexity. According to the theories of Carl Pribram, a neuroscientist at Stanford University, and David Bohm, a physicist at the University of London, the human mind is also a hologram which attunes itself to the universal hologram. Remember that it's not a hologram that's projected externally that you could put your hand through like in movies. It's an internal mental hologram that's solid and interacts with every physical sense, including touch.
Honestly, tell me a more incredible and equally troubling theory than that one.
Videos that make my skin crawl. This man stayed in a suite that he thought was a luxury suite, but what he finds hidden in the bathroom cupboard will make you never want to stay anywhere ever again. I thought hidden cameras in Airbnbs were bad, but this just blows that out of the water. This man was staying at a resort, and his room was one of the nicer rooms available. He starts by showing us into the bathroom. Looks divine. A standalone bath surrounded by clouded glass walls. How perfectly soothing to relax in, right? Not quite. There were a few full-length cupboards in the bathroom, but what he finds in the second one makes me feel sick. There's a trapdoor, but that's not the end of it. This leads to a whole hallway that runs behind the glass walls. Imagine taking a bath with an audience, as if this huge hidden corridor behind the wardrobe wasn't enough. There's yet another trapdoor. This leads to some kind of cellar, dungeon-looking room. What the hell is this? Is this just the layout of an old building? Or is this set up as something more sinister? Why have the trapdoors through the wardrobe from the hall and the dungeon? Who needs to be going into that room from the outside? What do you think this is? Is this normal for hotels?
Well, besides that just being a giant fucking nope from me, I wonder, is that for like service? Because that would be a really strange place to put it, right? Like, I feel like if that was I don't know, some way to get to like a service area, maintenance area, it wouldn't be fucking built into a room through a cupboard, right? Through a fucking closet. That's weird as fuck. So it kind of makes me think, is it just for someone peeping, just being a fucking pervert? Or is it for maybe, you know, taking people? And hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the first fucking case is the real one, where it's just like a poor design for servicing whatever the fuck in the hotel. Maybe there's pipes down there or some shit they gotta access through a fucking closet. I don't know. I know it sounds dumb because it is dumb, and that's definitely not what it's used for. Trying to find the light in the tunnel here, guys. Trying to find the silver lining in this explosive fucking shit show of a fucking situation here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm dumbfounded. That's fucking weird. And no. Nope. No, I just wouldn't be a part of that. If I seen somebody coming through a cupboard while I was in the bathtub, I would probably assume it was something paranormal. And that would scare me more than it being a human, because if it was a human, I'd handle that shit with extreme prejudice. But if it was a fucking ghost, which would be my first thought, oh man, it'd be so much worse, because I think I was fighting something invincible, right? I'd have to fucking give it 100%. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I'm just rambling. But that's it. That's all.
Watch, he'll go through that hole. Holy shit.
Not gonna get out of it.
Oh yeah, you'll go.
gone.
Telling you, man, one of these days we're gonna crack open a UFO and we're gonna find one of those motherfuckers in it. I can't be the only one that thinks that octopus, occupy Mars. Occupy Mars. Illuminati confirmed. Son of a bitch. I can't be the only one that thinks that they're like aliens that came here like years ago, right? Like octopi are the ones that are controlling the USOs. They're piloting those things coming out of the water and abducting cows and shit.
Did you know that the Great Pyramid is almost perfectly aligned to what is called true north? Still think it's a coincidence? Well, did you know that the Great Pyramid sides are on the exact line of the equator? And the 3 pyramids of Giza are perfectly aligned to match the belt of Orion. When you look at all the facts, it doesn't take a genius to understand that whoever built the most accurately aligned structure on Earth was not a simple people group using primitive methods, but incredibly intelligent workers.
Freemasons, bro, they built everything. Ancient Egyptian Freemasons, man, just going to work, just going to town, building pyramids.
There's no evidence that a mummy was ever there. No mummy has ever been found in any pyramid, ever. Ancient Egyptians considered their pharaohs gods. The Great Pyramid is a strange structure for a god. Small chambers, narrow shafts, no markings at all. The way the pyramid was built and the materials used to build it suggest it had a different purpose. The sides of the pyramid are aligned with the compass with such accuracy that only modern engineering can match it. The Great Pyramid is a mountain made of 2.5 million blocks of stone, weighing 6 million tons, piled 481 feet high. Its footprint is over 13 acres. To align this construction within 1/15th of a degree of true north is impossible precision. The base of the Great Pyramid is leveled to within 3/4 of an inch. The only way to do this with modern structures is to use lasers. Even though the sides of the pyramid are over 755 feet long, made of stone blocks weighing between 2 and 40 tons each side is within 2 inches of any other. That's 99.98% accurate. Fun fact, the pyramid doesn't have 4 sides. It actually has 8. Each side is slightly concave that you can only really see from directly above, or when the pyramid casts shadows during the equinoxes. And yes, those angles too are perfect. Whoever built the pyramids somehow knew the size of the Earth. If you take the height of the pyramid and multiply it by 43,200, you get 3,938.685 miles, which is within 11 miles of the polar radius of the planet. That's 99.7% accurate. If you take the perimeter of the base of the pyramid and multiply that by 43,200, you get 24,734.94 miles. That's the Earth's circumference at the equator within 99.3% accuracy. We know that the ancients were obsessed with equinoxes, when the day and the night are the same lengths. The length of the day and night on an equinox is 43,200 seconds.
I haven't kept up with the Great Pyramid theories in a long time, if there's any new developments or anything differently from other theories that we've had over the years. But yeah, I'm still under the understanding that the pyramids are power plants and that the obelisks, that the worldwide ancient Washington monuments are the telephone poles. I don't know if it's just me, but some of that looked like it was in English. Like the first time it froze on the hieroglyphs. That would be weird. Dude, can you imagine that? If it was like a mixture of like the English language mixed with Egyptian hieroglyphs, that would be nuts. I mean, it would make me think that some modern day person did that, you know, since the cap of the pyramid's not there. But that would be absolutely insane if it's always been like that.
Imagine stepping into a mirror and emerging in a different time. These extraordinary mirrors, discovered by Nikolai Kozyrev, are large tubes of rolled aluminum with a chair inside. They are designed to shield subjects from electromagnetic interference and amplify the person's biological energy. When these mirrors are aligned correctly in the shape of the golden ratio, they can bend time and space. Real-life experiments conducted in a remote village above the Arctic Circle have tested their time-bending capabilities. As soon as the device was built, strange phenomena occurred around the village. Balls of energy appeared and disappeared. The northern lights seemed to make physical shapes. When the first person sat in the time machine, a flash of energy erupted that stunned everyone in the lab. The device worked and boosted people's psychic abilities. It also enabled them to view any place in the world. And soon they could view any place in time.
Well, that sounds really fucking cool. I know I've seen some crazy shit in the mirror when I was like tripping on fungus, and people say not to look in the mirror, but I did a few times and my face was melting. So that was an experience. So this is kind of off topic. I just thought of it just now, and I never asked this question because it just never occurred to me. For you guys that are watching that support the flat Earth theory, what do you believe that the northern lights are? Like, what's the explanation behind them? Let me know. I'm super interested to hear it.
911, what are you reporting? I got a strange going on out here. Something just killed my dog. Something killed your dog? My dog went flying through the air over the trees. I don't know how it did it.
That was a real 911 call made in the year 1990 in the area of Kitsap, Washington. In the phone call, a man calls claiming that something grabbed his dog, threw it over his 9-foot privacy fence, ultimately unaliving it. And the next time that he would call, it would be far, far worse.
I'm out here looking through the window now and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside.
Now, the area of Kitsap, Washington has been known to have various sightings of something that's unexplained. Many people refer to this thing as Sasquatch or Bigfoot, but ultimately no one really knows. Now, in this particular phone call, he had called claiming that something ultimately unalived his dog and that something is crawling around in his backyard. He doesn't quite know what it is until this thing kind of stands up on him.
Or whatever it was that was standing up.
Revealing itself, and he kind of gets an idea of what it is that he's looking at. And the whole thing is caught on audio.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
I can't tell.
Now, I'm not going to confirm or deny what this thing is. I'll let you be the judge. Here's the audio.
I'm out here looking through the window now and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside. Jesus Christ, you better... Sure. Zia!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on.
He's right...
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
That would be fucking crazy. I'd be a Bigfoot fighting motherfucker if he threw my dog. I don't even have a dog, but I love dogs. I think I could take a Bigfoot. It's like hit him with some leg kicks, single leg takedown. Might even pull guard on him. Honestly, I'd like to get Bigfoot in an armbar. What do you think Bigfoot is? I've seen comments, a couple of them. One of them thinking it's like, obviously they call him the missing link. You know, some people, I think that's the oldest one, thinking he's the missing link between former humanoid species and Homo sapiens. And then I've seen other people saying they're like guardians, mythical guardians of sacred places. And then I've also seen people comment on some of my videos and saying that they are robots that are created to keep people away from secret military establishments. I mean, they're all equally as crazy sounding to me. Like, because I mean, it's all just wild, right? All those things are fucking wild. But in saying that, they're all equally as interesting to me as well, because I don't fucking know what the hell a Bigfoot is.
From this height, Oliver's Castle, one of the most often debated observations was made early one morning in 1996. A young man who had spent the night here and had brought a video camera with him was woken during early dawn by a humming sound.
Here I'm standing at Oliver's Castle at precisely the same spot as John Whaley was standing in August 1996, when he supposedly, for the first time in history, managed to film the creation of a crop circle.
That the crop circle was not here on the previous day but had appeared on the following morning was a fact. That John Whaley was here at dawn could be confirmed by a military patrol that happened to be jogging by at the time. John went to the local pub later that same day and showed his film to the people there. Even so, many believe that he had managed to manipulate the film with computer animation in the meantime, something that computer animation experts doubt. To overlay a perfect animation over a handheld unstable film would need several days of work using the computer equipment of that time. Even today, the film is still a great mystery, and John has gone underground due to the intense interest that his film created.
Oh man. I watched a video recently basically saying that crop circles were explanations on how to create free energy, and that multiple people have taken the crop circles and used them as schematics to create generators, free energy. I don't remember the details. I'm not a crop circle doctor. I don't know. But I think this footage is solid. I think it's legit. This shit was hard to do back then. I think it was like 91, they said. I feel like back then that would be very difficult to do. I don't know. That's what I think. What do you think about this? This is a pretty interesting video.
The alien thing is crazy though. Don't you feel like in the last 3 years, that shit is like ramped up?
Oh, it's so real. It's not even funny. I've been to Skinwalker Ranch. That place is amazing.
You actually went?
Yeah.
I watched the TV show.
Dude,
Dude,
it's so
made my skin crawl.
Dude,
did you feel it?
Dude, it is so weird.
What did you
None of
feel?
the technology works. It's really weird.
But what did you feel?
Over there, it was just so interesting. You could definitely feel it. They took us all around. We went to all the homesteads, all the towers, and just saw like stuff from the show.
Honestly, man, I would love to kick it with Post Malone. He seems so chill and like down to earth and just like genuine and like polite, which you don't see a lot with like big celebrities like that. And this right here, him saying like aliens and shit are real, that just confirms it. He's one of the good ones. He gets a pass.
Alright, check this shit out, because this one is actually wild. Skinwalker Ranch is one of the most unexplained places in the whole entire United States. The Navajo Indians put a curse on the land whenever the land started to be sold to the United States government, and when their people started to get sold into slavery. A skinwalker is essentially a witch that takes the place of an animal, who is supposed to watch over the land and hunt whoever's not supposed to be there. There are some crazy stories that happen at Skinwalker Ranch. The owner said that at nighttime, huge creatures would walk up and down the fields. Cows and calves would be surgically cut open, and even some completely melted down. Even dogs and cats would be found vaporized. And this didn't just happen once, this happened hundreds and hundreds of times. Throughout the years, there's been reports of huge holes opening in the sky and things flying through over the ranch. Based on the Navajo Indian stories, they knew exactly what was going on here. And tons of residents have even claimed that they've had an encounter around Skinwalker Ranch. And even several people have just completely vanished from the area. Like Garrett Barsley, who disappeared on a Boy Scout trip in 2004, just a few miles away from Skinwalker Ranch. All he found was one sock in a boulder pile. What do you think is going on at Skinwalker Ranch?
I don't know what's going on at Skinwalker Ranch. I don't really know anything about it, actually. This is pretty new to me. If there's anything specific, any specific cases about Skinwalker Ranch you think I should look into or try to find a video of, let me know in the comments, or you can just join the Discord and send me some video clips. But yeah, this is interesting to me. I gotta look more into this shit. Yeah, I honestly just said that recently, a few months ago. The Y-Files posted something on Twitter about Starlink something, and the idea just kind of popped in my head. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, if literally we're trying to put all of these satellites all around the world like that, all around the globe, or just, up in the firmament, whatever the fuck you believe. I mean, I think there's a good chance. I mean, everybody already thinks Elon is like not the nice guy that he pretends to be. So, if he is, getting government funding, which we know he is, to put up all these satellites to where they can basically make anything, any kind of hologram or anything appear whenever, anywhere, or all at once, that would be absolutely insane. But it honestly wouldn't surprise me. Nothing fucking surprises me anymore, man.
Have you all not realized yet that this is really just this? Wonder if Elon has anything to say about that.
It's like, well, how did Cyberdyne Systems develop? It's like, well, they were a military contractor, and they were asked to develop a protective system, something that would protect it, for cybersecurity. So we need to have protection against cyber attacks. So its primary thing is to defend against cyber attacks. To develop an AI that can defend against cyber attacks. Now, that's pretty reasonable. And then...
My name is Lily. One day, something strange happened to me. I'm just a 6-year-old girl who went missing from our neighborhood. My parents were devastated, and no matter how hard they searched or how many police officers looked for me, I was nowhere to be found. They tried everything, but eventually, the police gave up. A month later, my parents refused to give up hope. They reached out to a famous psychic with special abilities all the way from the United States. They were desperate and willing to do whatever it took to find me. The psychic agreed to help and started using their abilities to see where I was. I watched as the psychic closed their eyes and seemed to concentrate deeply. Then, they opened their eyes and said, "This child is very spirited." My parents' faces lit up with hope upon hearing this. They were relieved to know that I was still strong and full of spirit. The psychic continued, "I can see many luxurious pieces of furniture around this child. It's clear that she is in a wealthy home." Although my parents were a bit skeptical about this statement, they clung to the hope that maybe it meant I was safe and taken care of. Then, my mother's voice trembled with excitement as she asked, "Where is our daughter right now?" The anticipation in her voice was palpable. The psychic looked thoughtful for a moment before answering, "Your daughter is now in various places around the world."
Oh my god. Oh my god. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Holy shit, dude. That one gave me chills.
Найден на дне Черного моря. Неизвестный. Как вы думаете, это настоящий? Или придуманный персонаж? Одной ноги почему-то нету. Офигеть.
Apparently that was in a Russian museum. Someone commented and told me to look that up. So thank you for that suggestion. But yeah, that's literally all the information I have on it. I would think that would get a little more coverage if it's out like that and it's real, or a little less coverage and a little more cover up if it was real and known about. I know Russia has been a little more open, I guess, with their UFO stuff over the years as well. So who knows? Maybe it's just being kept quiet over here in the States. I have no idea.
They are preparing for World War III. Elementary and high schools in Russia have started doing radiation mask training and active nuclear strike drills this month. Bunkers that were built during the Cold War that have since been abandoned are being reactivated. Construction crews were brought in to prepare them for use, and military personnel were seen outfitting them with weapons and supplies. Emergency response units such as the EMT are training with dogs and gas masks to simulate what they need to do after a nuclear strike, and firefighters are training to decontaminate cars and put out radioactive fires. Loud nuke incoming sirens have been set up in all major population centers and sounded off in drills. Putin has put nuclear forces on maximum readiness, with missiles ready to launch at a moment's notice. He has previously threatened to use nuclear weapons at the start of the Ukrainian war, but never did. However, the country's current emphasis on training their people for nuclear war is a worrying shift.
All I know is that here in the United States, we haven't heard shit about anything. We're kept in the dark. We're literally just nowadays raised, brought up, created to be weak slaves to the system, complaining about things that have no real impact on the world or ourselves, and have just become victimized, weak, self-important, narcissistic people that think our feelings are more important than reality or even the feelings of those around us. So I think even if this does pop off, I mean, good luck. Good luck, America. Not looking too good for us over here right now. Not with our leadership, not with our population. I don't know, man. Stay safe, guys. Shit's getting crazy.
Joe Biden accidentally confirmed that the Denver airport was no longer a mystery. For those who don't know, recently a man named Jeffrey Donson exposed the mystery surrounding the Denver airport by entering into the underground area and capturing images of animal and human experiments taking place there. He shared these images online, but they were quickly deleted, and he then vanished, without a trace. However, several individuals were able to download the pictures before they were removed. Despite these proofs, the government has since claimed that the images were fake. Recently, Joe Biden made a huge mistake. One day, while browsing through some of the CIA's most important documents, he suddenly fell asleep. During his nap, an intruder entered the White House through a window and managed to access the documents on his computer. And their content will shock you. They revealed the CIA's plan to delete Jeffrey's images because they actually revealed the truth about the mysterious airport and its hidden secrets. Furthermore, the documents showed that the CIA was responsible for Jeffrey Donson's disappearance.
I don't know, man. I find that kind of hard to believe that someone could have, easily climbed in a White House window and took things off of Joe's computer. Like, the most believable part of that story is that he could do that with Joe sleeping next to him and Joe wouldn't know. Wouldn't have an idea to sleep through it. I don't doubt that part of the story. I gotta know what's going on when he's awake, let alone when he's sleeping, right? But for someone to walk into the White House, over the fence, through the woods, the grandmother's house we go, and just climb through the window and take stuff off. I mean, there's cameras in like every room in the White House. It is like the most heavily guarded. It's literally like a military establishment, right? The security and stuff there. Snipers on the roof, sensors, cameras, like it's insane. So I don't think that part of the story is believable. And people come up missing all the time for talking about shit that they shouldn't. So yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I'm okay doing this shit.
King Kong is actually alive. Yes, you heard that right. Everyone knows that King Kong was a legend of the past. But what if I told you he still roams the earth today? In 2021, Emily Thompson decided to go on a mission to discover the truth about the existence of the mighty Kong. Having been captivated by tales of the giant ape from her childhood, she chartered a helicopter filled with enough supplies to last her expedition for 6 months before taking off for the hidden valleys of Skull Island. There, she searched for weeks without a single sighting. However, after exactly 39 days of exploration, she spotted a massive silhouette moving in the dense forest. As she descended, she realized just how enormous it was and began to film. And as the trees parted, she was able to clearly see it was none other than King Kong himself. She then posted the video online, but it was swiftly removed. Emily vanished without any further word, but some vigilant netizens managed to save the video subscribed for part 2 before it gets even crazier.
I fucking hate the clickbait. Ugh. The shit where they just like cut off the story or kind of just like segue into, hey, watch part 2. And then most of the time I click on the fucking profile and there's not even a part 2. Not even fucking part 2. It's literally, they're lying. Literally lying. Hey guys, watch tomorrow's video to learn everything that you've ever wanted to learn about conspiracy theories. The truth. I have the truth. All of it. And tomorrow's video, everything is coming clean tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to do that. Obviously, I'm fucking joking. Like, tomorrow's video is going to fucking slap. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, god damn it, that's so annoying. I forgot what the fucking video was about because I'm ranting. Oh, King Kong. Yeah, cool. King Kong. Big ape. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know if that's real or not. Let me know what you think. I got so distracted by ranting.
It's being reported that 95 schoolgirls in Western Kenya have been sent to the hospital due to a mysterious illness. All of the students attend St. Teresa Eregi's Girls High School, and apparently hundreds of students have been affected by the mysterious illness. The illness has reportedly caused weakness of limbs, leaving many unable to even walk. The vast majority of students from the school have gone home while testing is being done to see what exactly this illness is. Some people had stated this could be a case of mass hysteria. It's being reported that blood, stool, and urine samples have been sent to the nation's capital for testing. What do y'all think is going on here? Let me know.
Nothing good comes from mass hysteria, obviously, but I hope that if anything, that's the case, and it's not like some biological testing going on with these poor people, because that would just be awful. Because that would be very unfortunate if there were like some testing going on over there. Because I know that, that shit has happened in the past, like larger government, like agencies, testing different things on less fortunate countries and stuff. So it's pretty fucked up, but it happens. So I hope that's not happening. I also hope that it's not like some, new virus springing up. Really, there's no good outcome from this, but I hope the least debilitating cause is what is doing this.
You're working late night shift when this happens.
Okay, you can do this. Just ignore the statues. They're not demons. It's fine. You got this. You got this. Oh, God. Oh, God. You're not gonna come alive, right? Right? You're all just standing and chilling, right? Right? It's fine. This is fine. Just a few demons. It's fine. Oh, cool. They reflect in that. That's cool. That's cool. This is fine. I'm fine. It's fine.
Ah, shit. Fuck.
Nope. Nope. The first one. Nope. Second one, I don't think it was real. Probably wasn't real. I mean, if he was a, you know, like maintenance worker or something, he could very well have had like a helmet cam or something like that to record, you know, what he was doing, what he was checking on or something, to review it later and kind of see what the problem was. But nah, I don't think that last one was real. I mean, I hope not, because that'd be fucking wild. You don't see shit like that a lot. So I hope it's not fucking real. But as far as all the creepy statues and the fucking, there's no way, dude. There's fucking nope way I would ever do that. I'm not working that job. I'm unemployed now.
Family gets back from walk when ghost plays peekaboo. Watch this.
Alright, my daughter's room is up there, and we keep seeing some... Alright, put your flashlight up.
What is up?
Okay, wait, we're gonna look down for a minute, but put your flashlight down. Let's see if we can get it to go again. Alright, flash it up there. Oh, now it's gone. Put your flashlight down. Watch it again. Put it down. Put your flashlight down. Let's see if it'll do it again. All right, put it up. Hurry. Oh, look at that, dude.
Absolutely not. No, thank you. Why are they so calm? And why is she just letting her child run inside the house to check it out? I'm gonna say that's fake for peace of mind, but why are you so fucking calm? If it's not fake, why are you so fucking calm, lady? And again, why are you letting your kid run inside and check out the upstairs if somebody is clearly up there? I don't know, man. People are wild. Like I like to think that I'm not a chicken shit. Like I don't like haunted places. I don't like ghosts and shit. But like, if I have to, I'll go in there. Right? I'll go in there and I'll fucking, you know, face whatever it is. Probably. I don't know. I haven't had to do that in a while. I like to think I would, but I'm not going to send my fucking kid up there, right? That's literally my answer to most things nowadays. Is I don't fucking know. The world is so crazy. People are fucking insane. I'm going insane the more I watch these fucking videos. But it's fun. I like it. And I'm glad you guys send them to me.
Yep, people all over the country are seeing this in public bathrooms, and if you see it, you need to get out as fast as you can. People were terrified after a viral video showed a woman using a public bathroom when she noticed blood spots on the toilet roll. After being terrified, she looked closer and saw blood spots all over the inside and outside. Many thought this was blood from someone's nose or someone wiping their fingers. But this was reported to come from junkies sticking their used needles into the roll to clean the tips off. And if you continue to use the toilet paper after this, it just takes one drop of blood to completely end your life. People were terrified how many spots were on the roll and possibly how many junkies have been doing this. This became such an issue, officials had to come out to address it. The Health Administration says it is still not as widespread, and many institutions like the NIDA said there's barely any evidence of this existing, so it may be a hoax online. In this case, do not use public toilet paper if the dispenser is open, and when buying, try to make sure to inspect it first.
Man, that doesn't surprise me at all. Worked on the south side of Chicago for a long time. If you're from Chicago, I worked right off of Pershing, right over there by the Sox Stadium. I worked at a forging facility there for a long time, and it was just, dude, you just find like needles and fucking roaches and all kinds of shit just like sitting on the ground, like by a gas pump. Like that's just everywhere, dude. Like in those areas where people, there's like really bad drug use, that's the last thing on those people's mind is, you know, cleanliness or it affecting other people. You know, their mind is just like, you know, chasing the dragon, man. So they just do what they have to get that done in the most convenient way possible for them. And then after that, it's just kind of like whatever, right? Just enjoy the ride and not worry about, you know, what you're leaving behind for other people to potentially come in contact with. Doesn't surprise me. I hope it's more of a hoax. I hope it's less of a problem than it seems to be based off of the outcry on the internet, but, you know, who knows? The drug problem here in America is real.
The Vatican conducts astronomical research using a modern telescope located atop Mount Graham in southern Arizona. This observatory is home to one of the most modern and powerful telescopes in the world. Do you know what this telescope is called? It's called Lucifer.
I mean, I think that's surprising that the Catholic Church would name it that. Okay, let me rephrase that. The Catholic Church is wild. I think they do fucked up shit. I think that they are hiding shit from us. I think that they're covering their ass. I think they're up to no good. I'll say that. With that being said, the image they're trying to relay, that they're like all good and holy and whatnot, as, you know, mainstream religions and churches like to do. Mega churches. I don't want to throw everyone under the bus. Went to some pretty cool churches when I was younger. But so I think it's weird that they would name it Lucifer, just because like the social, you know, backlash of it, the taboo-ness of it. You know, people are afraid of that name. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the name Lucifer. I think the name Lucifer is an awesome name. And as a former Christian myself, I mean, that was Lucifer. He was good. He was a good angel when he was called Lucifer. Like when he got cast down into the lake of fire, he changed his name from Lucifer to something else. So the good angel, you know, before Satan became a bad guy, that was his good name, the light bringer, right? It means light bringer. So, I mean, I don't have an issue with the name Lucifer anyway, because I'm not a religious person. But even if I were still a Christian man, I don't think the word Lucifer or the name Lucifer would bother me at all, because it was given to an angel. It's an angel's name. I think that a lot of people are more comfortable just completely avoiding and getting rid of anything that's associated with bad or evil things, and that's cool. That's great. I'm happy for those people that they're doing what they need to do, that gives them peace of mind and makes them feel comfortable and happy. That's cool. But overall, I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. Because I don't let that shit scare me. Because my thought was, you know, when I was very, very Christian growing up in a very, very religious household, that your faith in God should make you not afraid of these things. You could openly say things without being afraid because God will protect you. But that's just me. You know, people can do what they want. Regardless, it's weird. It's weird that the Catholic Church would choose to name their telescope that.